black males in Chicago have felony records. The unemployment rate in Chicago and Illinois is about 9%. Everybody say 9%.
9%.
But when it comes to black males, it is 53%. 10 times the national rate. That's why I say, you're here today and you have a moment in time, we have this moment in time together. Let me encourage you to reclaim your future. Because someone has already cast a vision for you. And that vision that they've cast for you is not going to lead you, may not lead you to the place you desire. Now, I grew up in the Cabrini Green projects. My mother was a civil rights activist and my dad was a cab driver. My mom had 7 kids and a 6th grade education, and that was it. My dad was in a terrible car accident and had brain damage. So then my mom was stuck with 7 kids, a husband with brain damage, and only a 6th grade education. My mom moved us to Cabrini Green Projects, which was one of the worst projects in the city. And people said, you taking 7 kids there. She had to send her husband to his mother so she could take care of him, because she couldn't take care of him and all of us, 7 of us. So my mom would, people said, you move your kids to the projects, to Cabrini Green, you expected the worst for them, the worst of the worst. And it was dangerous, it was violent. But my mom left us at home, went to work in the daytime, and went to school at night. And over the course of time, in 5 years, she got her elementary school diploma, her high school diploma in 5 years, her college degree, 2-year college degree. Hold it, let me finish. Landed a good paying job at Cook County Hospital as a respiratory therapist, bought her own home out on the south side, and moved her entire family out of Cabrini Green in 5 years. My mom, she recast her future. She reclaimed her future. You have to reclaim your future. You cannot expect someone else to do it for you. You cannot blame it on the teachers. You can't blame it on your mother, your father. It's in your hands now. During the time when we lived at Cabrini Green, we moved there when I was 8. By the time I was 11, I was on drugs. I was using drugs regularly. And by the time my mother moved us out of Cabrini Green, I was hooked on drugs, basically. I didn't realize it at the time, but I continued to use drugs. And I was 16, 17, 18. By the time I turned 19, I realized I was an addict. I was addicted to cocaine and had a $1,000 a week habit, and that was in 1978, way before y'all was born. $1,000 a week was a lot of money back then. I was 19, and for 3 years I struggled and fought. Because I know that was not supposed to be my future. I knew I was supposed to die like that. I just knew that things were supposed to be different than the way they were. And there I was in a state that couldn't even help myself. I had quit school when I was 16 and went to work in a steel mill, and I was signing every check I had over to the drug dealer every single week. My future was dark. It seemed hopeless, and it seemed like I would be helpless. But I continued to push because I knew that was not the future I was supposed to have. So I ended up stumbling into a church in Inglewood, little storefront church, pastor with 7 kids, and church, little small church. Stumbled in there, and the man of God asked me, he said, what do you want from God? I told him I'm a drug addict, and I want to be free. And I thought that would be enough. I was 21 at that time. I thought that would be enough to make him say, oh my God. But you know what he did? He rolled up his sleeves. He had tracks up his arms where he had been shooting heroin. And cuts on his wrist where he tried to kill himself. He said, I was a heroin addict. These are the tracks on my arm. He said, you see here where I cut myself. I tried to kill myself. I cut both my wrists, tried to kill myself. He said, but God delivered me, and today, God's going to deliver you. There I was standing there, a high school dropout, a drug addict, an alcoholic, a thief, somebody who had little or no help, came into the house of God, and the man of God prayed for me, and my life was delivered on the spot. I didn't have cold turkey, I didn't have side effects, everything just left me that same day. So I went back to school. I got my GED. I got an Associate's of Arts degree from Truman College in science. I got a bachelor's degree from Roosevelt University, a bachelor's in public administration.
Come on, man. Give me a break.
I got a master's degree in public administration, human administration from Spurtis Institute downtown. I went back to school and studied accounting at DePaul and took the CPA exam, and I'm a certified public accountant. Then I went on to study. I wanted to find out how to make a movement happen, how to make change in our community. I was sick of things being like they were. I'm sick of death, murder being a major cause of death, the leading cause of death in Chicago. I'm sick of seeing my brothers locked up in prison. I'm sick of seeing my kids fail in schools. So I went back to school. I said, how can I change this? I need more knowledge than I have. So I went back and got a PhD. I'm a doctor now, y'all. I'm talking about reclaiming your future. I'm talking about not accepting what's being handed out to you and telling you that it's okay. I'm talking about not living in these conditions and being silent. I don't care if you cannot change everything. You may not be able to change everything, but you don't have to be silent.
Yes, sir.
Reclaim your future. The power's in our hands. Now, we fought to get these jobs. 600 jobs, we fought to get them. And like he said, I did the negotiations for the budget for the Black Caucus. This is my first time down there, but I did the negotiations and we got these jobs and we got a whole lot more. But I'm one voice. And some of you feel the fire in your belly right now. You feel fire inside because you are also like me. You have power to change the things that are around you. You have it burning inside. You know why? Because it's a witness. It's a witness inside of you, witnessing that, yes, you have a role in solving the problems we face today. You must reclaim your future, and you must reclaim the future of all those that are around you. Don't say, ladies, don't say, well, he just act like that. He want to be cool. He's my guy, but he just want to be cool. He makes me sick acting like that. Say something to him. Tell him you reclaiming his future. And you're not allowing him to just continue to be like that and make you think it's okay. You got to speak up. And guys, you got to stand up. You got to stand up and you got to humble yourself in the face of adversity. Don't get so upset you see somebody acting up and you want to act up with them. They stole my nickel, so they're going to have to deal with me because they stole my nickel. Don't be stupid. Reclaim your future. Give them a dime. Say, you stole a nickel, let me give you a dime. Because you know what? My future and your future is worth more than that. Yes. So I'm Senator Patricia Van Pelt. I am your senator here in this area and on the west side. I love you, and I'm giving myself for you. I left a job that paid $17,000 more a year than I'm making now, but it's worth it for your future. It's worth it. Thank you.
Come on, let's give our senator. My God. Come on, let's really give a rousing applause. Let her feel our appreciation. Let her feel our love. Let her feel our respect. Let's celebrate her success. I want you to just say this with me. Say, brilliance runs on the west side. I think y'all better say that one more time. Say, brilliance runs on the west side. Look at somebody and say, I'm brilliant. Why did I say that? Because the 600 or so of us that are in this room that have been brought together by this powerful senator, this is all happening on the west side. This is happening to our young people here. And I am just so very appreciative of what our senator has brought to bear here today. You can easily just say, just in 6 months, 100 youth will be working this summer for every month she's already been in. 600 young people. I I was a member of the first graduating class that went to Austin High School in 1964. I know. I'm standing here, they call me Reverend Michael Eady, but I haven't always been Reverend Michael Eady. I haven't always represented things that are positive and constructive. There were seasons when I represented some things that were negative and destructive. But what I want to say to all of you as young people is that, everybody say, safe cities.
Safe cities.
Say it one more time, say, safe cities.
Safe cities.
Now, safe cities, we need to help safe cities create a brand. And what I mean by that is when you think of a cola, you think of Pepsi or Coke. When you think of footwear, you think of Nike or Adidas. When you think of an SUV, you think of an Escalade. When you maybe think of soul food, you think of MacArthur's. But when they want to find brilliant young people that is willing to go to work and do a good job, we want them to think about safe cities. Look at somebody and say, brilliance runs on the west side. Listen, I want you, when you go to work, I want you to go to work with every tool that you've been given. You've been given your mind, your hands, your ears, your mouth, your legs, your feet, your arms, your back, your shoulders, your muscles. I want you to take every tool that's been given to you, go where you have been given employment, and when you get there, I want you to think about doing a quality job. I want you to think about being a completer. Look at somebody and say, I am a finisher. Anything you are given in your particular occupations, I want you to complete the job that you've been started. Because I want you to understand, and I want you to go there, and I want you to be a hard worker. I don't want you to be trying to duck. I don't want you to get lost in a corner, get lost in a hallway, get lost outside of the building. I want you to stay wherever you've been commissioned to go, and I want you to work hard, because faith and hard work are indispensable to success. Look at somebody and say, I am brilliant. Your work should be a signature of who you are. It should make a statement about your work ethics. You ought to autograph your work with your signature. And I want you to understand this, that inferior work does a disservice to your image. And when you go to work, I want you to be aware there are some enemies of work.
Come on now.
Sleep is an enemy of work. You're not going to work to go to sleep. And if you're going to stay awake at work, you got to go to bed at night. Tell somebody, brilliance runs on the west side. Yeah. Slowfulness cannot be a part of your image. You are being sent to a job to help that company, that organization to accomplish some things. And what you have to understand is that opportunity knocks on your door, but it is dressed in work clothes. Tell somebody, say, opportunity is knocking today and is dressed in work clothes. What I want you to understand is that if you do what you are sent to that job to do, there are some rewards. You're going to receive favor. You're going to receive income. you're going to achieve success. And many of you will possibly even be sparked in an area of some things that you aspire to do for the future. Let me close with this. There are some beatitudes of brilliance. Everybody say, be personal.
Be personal.
Never be a carbon copy of somebody else. Discover your own unique abilities and talents. Big thinkers know their assets. Everybody say, be particular.
Be particular.
Make right choices about the people you're with, about the things you read, and about the things you watch. Everybody say, be positive.
Be positive.
If you think doubt, you will fail. If you think victory, you will succeed. Never underestimate your brilliance. Tell somebody, brilliance runs on the west side. Be prepared. When you come to work with a work mindset. Come to work, bring your work energy to work. When you come to work, be productive. Make a contribution into that organization where you are. Be persistent in everything that you have been given to do. Please show up on time. Everybody say, show up on time. And lastly, have a winning personality. Always present yourself in a cordial way. Smile often. Use good manners. Exercise good people skills. Shake hands. Be polite. Have a conversation. Compliment one another. We're branding safe cities, and we want the state of Illinois to know brilliance runs on the west side.